This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Another episode of Hashtag Same Sort of Podcast. Recording live. It's late. It's day 2 of joint practices with the Green Bay. The Saints had with the Green Bay Packers in Wisconsin, in Green Bay. Concluded today. Friday's the upcoming preseason game against, with these two teams. So this is going to be a combination of catching up on our thoughts in the joint practices and how training camp's going, / kind of get into the preview for the Packers game. And then for the Packers game, we are doing another live stream. We understand that it is on Friday. I believe it's on Friday. The game starts 5 o'clock California time, 7 o'clock New Orleans time. So we're still doing a live stream. If you can make it, your Patreon, please come through to the Zoom live stream. Ryan won't be there. Man, Ryan, this nigga's like brother, man. Man, flow. But please get in there if you guys can. We the first preseason game was fun as shit, enjoyable. But we have a lot to talk about. But before we get into anything, I'm gonna keep this brief. And this is not me rustling any feathers, anything like that. And I told Ryan I'm gonna speak on it real quick. Before we do the, before we get, I got to.
Speak on it, bro.
I got to. So on Twitter, in Wisconsin and Green Bay today, like there was this Twitter posted. And I don't know who posted it, but it was just like the New Orleans Saints beat reporters all together, kumbayaing and just all buddied up and just at somewhere in Wisconsin. And the picture, it transported me to being in the banquet hall in Mobile at the Senior Bowl when that opened up. I remembered it because I looked around. I'm like, God damn! Like there's like no people of color in this whole entire room. Like there was some, but like it was like you could count on like a couple of. You can count on a hand how many people of color were in that room. And I saw that picture, and I was like, "You telling me that the people that cover the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans fucking Saints in Louisiana, a predominantly black state, a predominantly black city, and we completely understand that majority NFL teams are African American. That's not news. But to like have that picture posted, like there's not a Rod Walker. We couldn't get Ross Jackson. I know, he's not black, but we couldn't get John Hendricks in that fucking picture. Like at least a person to add some spice. Nothing. All vanilla. Something. Tony's. It upset me a little bit because I'm just like, man, like, and when I we've been reaching out to people, who support us or trying to get all these mugs out. My last count, we have about 20 coffee mugs to get out. It seems like a big number, but it really isn't, considering we started with a lot more than that. So we're pretty much halfway through of getting the mugs out. We have the other half to get out. Our goal, fingers crossed, is hopefully get the mugs out before the start of week 1 to everyone, which is like 9/11, September 11th. Don't know if that's going to happen, but we're going to try. But that said, reaching out to people, asking for their addresses and things like that, something that kept coming back, from some people, obviously not everyone, is just really giving us praise and credit for not only having a Saints podcast and us just being fans and being real and being honest and not sugarcoating shit, not giving you the team's perspective, not trying to pretend like everything is roses and flowers when it comes to the team. But some of the responses is that you are 2 black men who are doing this podcast. 2 black men are having your voices heard and put out there, and something that you guys are building. And I know that's something that, shout out to our dude, Bayou Punisher, who's a great supporter of the pod. Yeah. That's something that he's talked about in the Patreon or to us, and it's not. And I'll be honest, like, it's not something that I actively think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not in the forefront of my mind. But to know that what we're doing, and it's fun, and I love it, and it never ever really feels like a quote unquote job. Although I know the season's about to pick up and it's about to get ramped up, bro. Like, we about to be hitting it hard. But seeing that picture juxtaposed to what people have reached out to said to us, it really just even hit home even more. That I am proud of what we've built. I am proud of this podcast. We do have a announcement that we're hoping will be finalized and that we will be able to share by the end of the month. But all that said, can we just, and I don't know who I need to ask this to, but can we get some representation, like, covering the fucking New Orleans Saints? Like, please.
Specifically at Know the Media, because, I mean, we got representation covering the Saints, but, I mean, it's like, Know the Media, it's like, come on, man, what y'all doing? And, I think that speaks to, just how you talked about with, us, our podcast. Look at what Ross Jackson is doing, John Hendricks, Maddie, being a young woman. We taking it in our own hands pretty much. You know what I'm saying? The gatekeepers out there, the old media and all that stuff. Nah, like, the internet is the ultimate equalizer. So we taking it in our own hands and we're going to do it ourselves,
It's our time. It's our time, man. That's the way we got to look at it. And that's how I feel like a nice segue is, I say that our time in terms of me and you in this podcast, but Ryan? It might be these niggas' time, bro.
What?
It might be.
Tell me that.
What we talked about a couple episodes ago, that that 09 training camp, you was reading them reports and you were just getting that tingle, bruh, like that. Ooh, like we might got a squad, bruh. I'm saying this as a person, as good as I think this team may do this season, but also as a person that is still emotionally disconnected myself. And even if they, long-term goal, make the Super Bowl, I'm still going to be emotionally disconnected, bro, because the worst shit would still them doing something off from the Super Bowl, bro. But I truly believe that this team constructed may do something special this season. Some things that have come out of training camp. Something that I've been paying attention to, bruh. All these interviews with players, just talking about how things are different. The feeling of the team is different. Like Nick Burnett said it a couple of weeks ago, like third string, fourth string tight end. I'm like, was Sean the villain? And I say that kind of jokingly because Sean wasn't the villain. He's a top 3 head coach in the NFL.
Right.
But it just, as sometimes like you just need a change, right? Like relationships, marriage,
right.
work, job. Sometimes you just Sean felt like he needed a change because he stepped down. Felt like the Saints wasn't
Exactly.
just wasn't what he wanted anymore. And maybe the players needed that too. But I'm reading these joint practices against the Packers. And I get it. There's no Devontae Adams, and they got a lot of young receivers that are trying to step up and take the mantle and be on the same page with Aaron Rodgers. But we're talking about Aaron fucking Rodgers, man. Like yesterday, the Saints defense held him to 12 out of 25. 50%. And then today, in practice, bro. And then today, Aaron Rodgers so upset with what's going on in the field, bro. He's throwing his receivers under
the meetings. Called an offensive meeting, bro. Called the offensive meeting and they made it back to Adam Schefter.
Bro, I'm not trying to get everyone but this team is super fucking talented. And I think what's most surprising is that the way the secondary has come together. And again, this is practice. It's not real games, and that shit we can see how quickly it could change, and might see a bust week one. But at least in practice, we're seeing, the pieces of Marcus May, who's a new player, Honey Badger, who was new, and they're playing safeties, but yet it seems like everything is still cohesive, and there's still that synergy on defense. Bro, this team, they're gonna do some damage in the regular season, barring health, like getting destroyed injuries wise. They're gonna do damage in the regular season.
Absolutely, and it's just I remember listening to Malcolm Jenkins on Rich Eisen podcast a couple of weeks ago, and Rich Eisen was asking about man, what are y'all doing in Tampa Bay? Like, how do y'all what's going on? Like, how do you have their number? And Michael Jenkins just said it's not anything special. It's just that the defense was built to beat teams like Tampa Bay. To handle a Gronk and to handle Mike Evans and to handle Chris Godwin and to have that secondary across the line and the safeties to be able to handle that type. So it's the Saints defense was built for the modern NFL. This is a modern NFL defense built to stop the pass. And, historically, we'll see this year, historically, they've been great against the run. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those defense. It's just a good defense, man. And we'll see. You can't project. It's hard to project going forward from the past since you have changing players. There's no Quan Alexander. Players get older and stuff like that. But if they could be as good as they were against the run and be as just annoying on the back end, because that's what they are. They're annoying. That's why, they're annoying, bro. We watched it last year, bro. Whether it was Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or whoever, man, it was just can I complete a pass? Damn.
Only person that rose above that was fucking Daniel Jones, bro.
Daniel Jones said, man, I'm out here and I'm just about to play. Which is just a whole separate level of frustration.
But yes.
But anyway, they definitely have the talent, man. The only thing bugging me, bro, is just knowing that my crawl, bro, is it's the defensive line, man. It's the defensive line. We know within that D tackle. But you got Cam Jordan, who showed his age last year. But when Marcus Davenport came on and healthy, and they weren't able to double Cam Jordan like they usually do, Cam Jordan was able to, just go off and have a renaissance the last half of the season. And Marcus Davenport was just causing pressure, and it changed the whole realm of the defense. So it's just the only thing knowing at me right now is Davenport is still not. He's not practicing fully.
I can't call him that no more, man. He ripping the chain off, bro. Can't do it, bro.
Back to 2 first, bro.
This man
had
what?
I was trying to wait till regular season. Season.
Okay, ain't waiting to regular season.
Who that was in the Discord said, man, they got Goku on Fortnite now, man.
Shout out to who that Chris said we might not see Davenport for a couple weeks.
I was like, because I saw that on Twitter earlier today, like they got Goku on Fortnite. I was like, yo, that makes more sense, bro.
Nigga just with the remote with the 9 fingers just going ham, bro. Just
going ham. Pinky just dangling, just, But like for real, man, like we need that defensive line, bro. Like we needed to step up. I know people talk about the linebacker 2 spot, but more importantly to me is that D line, man, because they all go together. People talk about what's more important, the secondary or the D.
Peanut butter and jelly, bro.
When that secondary is humming, when that secondary is humming and locking players down and
coverage sacks.
But you get them coverage
and then
sacks,
vice versa.
I love them.
And then vice versa, man. When the defensive line is humming, that quarterback don't want to hold that ball too long, and then they start throwing it before they want to throw it, and then that leads to now the secondary can see like, oh, he want to get this ball off real soon, so I'm going to jump this route. They go hand in hand. Cam Jordan, I've been paying attention to this. Cam Jordan has had an amazing training camp. Even if you read the practice, the pieces and training camp observations. Shout out to our dude John Hendricks again. You read these training camp recaps, especially today, or no, it was yesterday. Cam Jordan yesterday and some today, which is absolutely dominant, and that's great. And the fact, like, can we just show a little appreciation to him too, like. For him to be still an elite, high-level defensive end as his age. And I know J.J. Watt's peaks in prime was at an insanely higher level. But in terms of just longevity of that same, like, being in the same draft class, J.J. Watt's breaking down right now, bro. Like, he's an afterthought. Cam Jordan's still going. Still going.
That's what I'm saying. Like, J.J. Watt hadn't had, like, a great season in years. So, nah, man. Like, you got to give it to Cam, man, and say he's on his 12th year in the NFL and stay with the Saints. He never been a guy to kind of just – he had plenty of chances to just kind of push the issue and, I'm not going to say seek more money because he's been paid, you know what I'm saying? But he could have made it harder if he wanted to.
Absolutely. Like the last extension he got was a very kind of team-friendly deal, I'll say.
Right. It kind of helped the team at the same time, but, like he could have he had every chance to make it hard. So, one, I never knock players for going hard and getting their money. But there is a party that kind of appreciates players that just like, I like being with the same team. I'm going to rock out over here. I'm going to make money. So there's a little part of you that just kind of appreciates that. So that's how I am with Cam, man. He's just one of those people. Like he's just a fixture of the Saints now. He's just going to be that guy probably for the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? Just a fixture of the Saints, just how you look at, like, some other teams with certain players. Man, like for him to just be showing up at camp the way he is now, when really he has every excuse to be like Davenport, be like chilling on the side in sweats, jogging or something like that. He has every excuse to be like that, and nobody would even fret him for it because he's a veteran. But man, he out there with the youngsters, most energetic player I've ever seen.
And out there just setting the tone, bro. Like that's what you want from like your defensive leaders. Like, well, shit, if Cam's going this hard in practice, like I don't have a choice but to go just as hard. We've said it.
Cam got like 5 kids.
That's
got
crazy,
a wife. doing media, this and that. He out there going just as hard on like a Wednesday in the middle of training camp. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no excuses.
We've said on this pod, and I know I've said numerous times that the wow factor of this defense being great to like elite. When I say elite, I'm talking about one of those defenses, they do a documentary on, bruh. Like one of the best in the. It's Peyton Turner. It's who first and two first, bruh. It's them. And they're the complete unknown because like we in theory we know what we could get from two first, but when is that gonna happen? Like when are we gonna get it?
Right.
Talking about this Packers preseason game on Friday, I know it's just preseason, but this is kind of big. This is a big game for Peyton Turner, man. Like,
it's
like
big,
he
looked bad.
Bad.
I went back and looked again. I was thinking maybe, maybe he had some pressures that I just didn't notice. Nah, man, it was just bad.
It was ugly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just bad. It was ugly. And, and I understand people say, look, he didn't play in 10 months. So that makes sense. So, and so I'm just not going to dog him. But I need to see something. I need to see
a flash, like something.
A flash.
Especially.
That's why, I think it's disrespect when they say, like, oh, Peyton Turner, who first or two first, just twins. It's like, nah. Like, even as much as we rag on Davenport, like, he's shown flashes. Preseason, all that stuff. I remember, preseason last year. It was like, oh, man, you see two first. Like, he shows it. And, look, to be honest, two first tape was better.
Yes.
As a prospect.
Yes, it was.
I could pull up the tweets. You can go find my tweets. Me studying the tape, and it just like if you read it, it's like, well, yeah, that's Marcus Davenport. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a bull in the china shop. He really was. And when I remember studying Peyton Turner, I was like, yeah, he's athletic. You can see it, but I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see like this dude that just was wrecking shop at times. Although I did see the athleticism, So, we still have questions if he can be that, man. It's a huge question.
It is. It's a big question. We're under a month away before the season starts, bro. Like, have you realized that? Like, kickoff week 1 is not 11. We are August 17th, bro. It is approaching quickly. I'm going to stick with the defense a little bit, and then before we switch over to the offensive side of the ball, I really feel that Chase Hansen, he had a damn good preseason game against the Texans, and he's followed up with that by like making plays in practice, in training camp and the joint practices against the Packers. I know I've been eyeing, potential LB2s that may have to play for Pete Warner if he's not able to go because of that groin injury. But they might just feel like they got the guy in house, and combination of using Chase Hansen and then on certain downs, and then using Eric Wilson probably on downs where they feel like it's going to be more of a coverage down. I feel like I'm not as concerned about the backup linebacker position as long as Chase Hansen can continue his good play. And I think they also have a lot of confidence in Caden Ellis as well.
Yeah, no. DA talks up Ellis every chance he gets. And, Chase Hansen, man, to say that we just picked him up like that after being on the street for a little while, man, that's a blessing, bro. And he kind of, he's not like Quan, but he kind of gives you the same up and downs Quan to give you because, Quan to get washed out in the running game sometimes. But he just is so fast and get to the ball so quick. I think Chase Hansen give us that, alongside DeMario. So I think, if they can keep those guys coached up, and look, man, DA is gonna mix it up, bro. It's not like we're gonna have two linebackers on the field at all time. You might see PJ Williams down there playing linebacker. You might see CD Deuce in his safety role down there. So it's like there's all kind of ways to skin the cat. It's just it's just the whole depth thing. Like you start, like say Demario Davis been an Iron Man. Like say he misses a couple games, God forbid. Like then it's all just like oh shit, it's all downhill from there. Like it's just that drop off gets dramatic once you take him out.
It does. It gets very, very, very steep. I think the thing I'll say with Chase Hansen is that the biggest issue he's had in his career has always been like injuries. Like he's just always gets injured. So that's something that he has to be mindful. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And like I said, I think it does alleviate some of the concerns at the backup linebacker position. And then you spoke on defensive tackle a little bit earlier. Or just D line and how it is a weakness of the team. And I 100% agree with you that it is definitely the biggest area weakness on the defense. But I will say that it seems like Malcolm Roach has really started to just splash like a lot. He made some good plays against the Texans in the preseason game, showed like incredible hustle on a play. He's made a lot of plays in these joint practices. I really potentially think he may get an opportunity to maybe cut into some of Shy Tuttle's snap percentages and things like that. They had a weird thing with like Jaleel Johnson, where they cut Jaleel Johnson, they signed him back, and now he's on injury reserve. So now Jaleel Johnson's not on the team anymore. But they really only really have, they have David Onyemata, Contavious Street, Shy Tuttle, Malcolm Roach, and I'm just saying, bro. Like I know he's mostly just a run-stopping defensive tackle, but the Jags cut Malcolm Brown today. Former Saint legend.
Yeah, bro.
Have him come in, just stop the run on running downs. At this point, like just bring, especially a player that you're familiar with. He knows the system.
Yeah,
like
man.
That. To me, that should be like an easy, like he should be on the team by tomorrow type of thing. But I just wanted to kind of point out that it really appears that Malcolm Roach has flashed a lot, and trust me, man, like we need all the interior defensive line pressure we could get.
Yes. And Shy Tuttle, he's a guy that he. I don't think he has like a huge danger of losing his roster.
I mean,
spot,
probably not just because that position is so thin, but
exactly. I think it's more because that position is thin than
his play
is him wowing anybody.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard plenty of people covering the team saying, he's just got kind of caught with the defensive coach getting at him or something like that. So, obviously, we need Shy Tuttle to step up. We need Malcolm Roach to step up. I can't remember the undrafted guy from the Navy.
Jordan Jackson. He was drafted.
Jordan Jackson, yeah.
He was drafted like in the 5th round.
He was drafted. He was drafted. Yeah, so I mean, we need these guys, man. We need them, man. And look, Onyemata, bro. Like I need Onyemata.
Bounce back season, man.
He's dealt with the whole. I heard he had dealt with the whole suspension thing, the PEDs and all that. I need to see what he got, man. Without the PEDs, bro, I need you to step it up. I mean, they developed him from literally not knowing how to play football to where he is now. He's getting paid. It's time to be like a key factor. Pass rush, rundowns, everything.
Because I mean, he's in theory is their best interior defensive player. Like for this defense and defensive line to be what it needs to be, he needs to be a huge factor and cog in that. So we're going to talk about the offense. Before we do, though, we're going to shoot it over, take a little time so we can hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back. What's up, Ryan?
Yo.
I'm just going to say this. I don't want you to get offended. I'm a big dude. You a big dude. Damn. And I know sometimes weight loss has been an issue that we both dealt with our entire lives. But I want to tell you about something that I came across about this great new company called Vertimax.
Okay.
Did you know that Bergamax is the leading sports performance and fitness equipment company that's used by half of D1 programs and half of the NFL and NBA teams? We have an NFL podcast. It's used by professional leagues as well as other teams all around the world. There's a Vertimax platform and there's a Vertimax Raptor used to help athletes improve their performance on the field for almost 3 decades. That's almost as old as you. I know we pick on him, but did you know that we pick on him in terms of his workouts, but Jameis Winston actually has trained on a Vertimax Raptor, and the King of New Orleans himself, Drew Brees, has trained on a Vertimax platform along with other top NFL and college football pro athletes. I was just scrolling on TikTok. I saw Amari Cooper using a Vertimax machine.
Wow.
We know we have a lot of listeners that have kids. They're in sports. They're in soccer, baseball, football, track and field, you name it. If you're a parent and you want to help your child improve in terms of their sports performance, or maybe you just feel like you just want to get your body right for the summer and get fit, you need to you need to check out Vertimax. So all you have to do is go to Vertimax.com or follow them on social media at Vertimax. That's BERTI Max. Again, that's at BERTI Max. Vertimax.com. Look into getting yourself a Vertimax platform, a Vertimax Raptor, and tell me you won't see the improvement. So we're back. Want to talk about the offense. I'm going to start with yesterday. And there was the consensus of yesterday. So yesterday was what? Tuesday's joint practice against the Packers. Overall was that the offense struggled. Both offenses struggled. Saints offense and Packers offense struggled. But the Saints offense struggled. But I think two things that I think people didn't really kind of put into context is, as great as the Saints defense is, and I've said it numerous times on this podcast, this Saints team and this Packers team, of how they are constructed, are insanely similar. Insanely similar in that they are defensive driven teams. And I put it in our Discord, the Packers have a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. Bar none. So that's a huge win in their factor. I would say the Packers have better edge rushers and pass rushers, but the Saints as a whole has better secondary players. But both teams hang their hat on defense. So it wasn't really surprising to me that the offenses struggle, because these should be, in theory, top 5 defenses in the league this upcoming season. But what was lost is the Packers offense were struggling with. They were struggling with Aaron Rodgers. Jameis is still not doing teams. It seems like he's getting closer, man. It's so funny because he was throwing, he was practicing today and throwing passes, and he we was sprinting. And you said it, bro. You said it at the preseason game. Jameis, man, he got that's foot. This ankle gotta get better. You know what? You know what it made me think of, bro?
What's that?
You ever had back in the day? I had to close the door so no one heard this. Back in the day, bro. You could go multiple rounds. You'd be good. Boom, bust, boom, 15, 20, 30 minutes. Shit, let's get back.
Slap it a couple times. Okay, wake up, let's go.
That's what I'm saying, bro. But now we get a little older, bro. Start slapping that thing. Looking back at you
I'm about to go to sleep.
Oh, bro, I'm late. So all I envisioned when I was thinking earlier, bro, Jameis just just hitting his ankle, bro, hitting his foot.
Come on.
He's Andy Dalton out there throwing them things, bro. I need to get back on the field.
Let's go.
So I just feel like that was kind of context that was missing when people were reporting it yesterday. But man, it sounds like Andy Dalton when they was in the red zone today, bro, was putting on a show.
Man. Yeah.
Four touchdowns, and then he throws this. I didn't see it. Just going off of reports, he throws this 30-yard dime to Chris Olave. There's not a quarterback competition in New Orleans. There's not. Shout out to our dude Will on Twitter. This man is pushing that hashtag Red Rifle agenda, bro, because he's like, I don't want to say nothing, bro. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Dalton hit him on that outside shoulder, baby.
All I'm gonna say, bro, Jameis has a 2-interception game, bro. And the defense played their heart out, and they end up losing.
Just saying.
Might be Red Rifle time. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. Because it is insanely consistent. If you are reading these observations after practice, especially since Jameis got dinged up or what have you, it's just like Andy Dalton completed this. Andy Dalton, is this a rejuvenation?
Yeah.
I just feel like he went to Chicago. He was kind of ass. He went to Dallas. He was kind of ass.
Pretty much, yeah.
But it's like you said, this offense is tailor-made for his skill set. Kind of like that 2015 season in Cincinnati. Man, this man got weapons all around him.
Yeah.
You juxtapose those teams. Man. He had AJ Green. He had Tyler Eifert in their prime. I believe Jordan Hill was a running back.
Never.
He comes to New
We'll
Orleans.
see. We'll see.
Mike Thomas, who DA said Mike Thomas back. Week one, Mike Thomas will be out there, and I'm not talking about Mike Thomas to show off his former self. I'm expecting pre-injury Mike Thomas to be out there week one. Came out there and put his name on it, bro. I'm like, oh shit. that would have never happened with Sean, bro. Never, ever. Yes. But it just really goes. This Saints might have one of the better backup quarterbacks in the league. No, and he is playing. He's having an extraordinary training camp. And I feel like we got to give a little love and just put a little more shine on. We knew who he was as a player, but every practice now, Chris Olave is doing little something more, little this, little that, and the biggest thing that I'm glad to see, because I think it was kind of underrated with him as a prospect at Ohio State, because most of his plays, there weren't any defenders around him because his speed, this man's out here catching contested balls. Pause. And what was the knock on him as a prospect? He wasn't physical, no run out to catch, blah, 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 blah. This man's out here going up 50-50 balls, contested balls, and coming up with them. And it happened in college quite a few times. If you just run Chris Olave's best highlights at Ohio State, you will see that with contested balls, he usually came up with them. But it was just one of the skill set that just kind of was under the radar because that wasn't what his game consisted of. But now you're in the NFL. Yes, you have elite speed, and at times you may be able to use that and get completely by a defender or a secondary player. But at other times, whether it's technique or whether it's speed, you may have that cornerback or whoever it is, in your hip pocket
he came in
not
OTAs,
completely away from you.
Everybody talking about it positively,
consistently making plays on contested balls.
But obviously, he's still a college player.
Even some of these joint practices.
So you start to see
pleasant,
the little nicks in his game,
pleasant surprise to see.
And he's just out there competing, man. Look, you're playing with Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry, two of the toughest wide receivers in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like, they tough. That's what they're known for. Getting dirty, taking hits, you name it. You can't play that type of shit with them, man. So he's with the right squad, bro. Like, he's not saying he was ever soft or something like that, but I'm just saying, like, he's playing with the type of dudes that make you want to go out there and show, like, okay, if they're gonna go and get it, I'm gonna go get it too. You know what I'm saying? So
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
You prepared your kids for their first steps. The first day at school, their first dance, that big test, all the wins along the way. With a College Savings Iowa 529 plan, you'll prepare them for even more. Register before May 31st for a chance to win a $1,000 contribution. Visit collegesavingsiowa.com to make the first move toward a bright future. College Savings Iowa. It's how parents get through college. Administered by the State Treasurer of Iowa.
Oh, they're gonna let you know. When this wide receivers only and they in that room, oh man, come on, bro. There's no filter. No filter. And then he an Ohio State boy. We got a standard to protect, baby. You know?
Because you know what? If he did anything quote unquote soft or pussy on the field, you know in that wide receiver room, when the game's being broken down, whoo, lit. They would lit into his ass. So it's like you said, that's yep. On top of that, I just feel all these injuries have happened.
Yeah,
injuries are part of football. I get that, man. That the entire 2/3, 3/5 of the offensive line went down today, bro. James Hurst left practice. Trevor Penning left practice, came back. Nick Underhill reports that the Hurst injury seems minor. It's nothing, serious or anything like that. And then Trevor Penning did come back to practice. But, the third string left tackle got hurt, bro. Football is such a high-risk injury sport. It's honestly insane that more injuries don't happen.
It's kind of notable,
as often, more than they do. Or obviously, I'm pretty sure they do happen more often than they do. They're just not reported. So it sounds like the offensive line, for all intents and purposes, will be intact and being okay. Something that's just kind of on my radar, man. And I know DA a couple of days ago said it was kind of part of their plan and getting Ramczyk healthy and all that, but it's like, this man done missed a lot of training camp. It may not mean anything, and shit. As long as Ram is healthy week one, and I know injuries has plagued him recently. It's hindered his play, and it's cost him.
And honestly, I think any rep.
So I know he's anxious to be on the field and kind of be his quiet, dominant self.
Really does.
But just something I just man, Ramczyk still missed a lot of training camp practices, and But I think the Saints obviously avoided huge disasters because it doesn't sound like anything was serious to either of their left tackles. But yes. And so I know you, and just quickly we'll speak on this. I know you kind of went back and watched some Penning from preseason, which baffled
yeah.
me. It's like,
Yeah.
we got here, we watching like
it was so much a topic on Twitter, bro. Like everybody was talking about it. You had everything from, man, it's what a waste of a first round pick to, oh, he'd be fine. It's like I just needed to see. Like, let me just look for myself and just put my eye test on it. I am not an O-line guru at all. I know my 2 or 3 little things and keys to look for. And I look for those and just watch. And I just watched them, man. But just from what I could tell, because I have no investment in Trevor Penning. Like I have no emotional investment in him. I did when we watched him at the Senior Bowl. We watched it throughout the whole process. Always felt like he'd be a Saints player.
Yep.
A Saints pick at least. We knew how to just the way the draft fell. Like we knew there would just be that run on tackles and Penning would be the one left standing. Because after Penning, it was just like a huge drop after that. And he was that one that's just kind of in the middle where you saw the talent, but he had just so many little things to clean up. And that's what we're seeing right now. And it's just like people kind of, I don't know why people are just thinking like, especially left tackles just coming to the league as rookies and just dominate. Like, man, it's just rare, bro. Like most of them just suck. Like even like top 5 picks just suck. It's just hard to play left tackle, man, coming out of college because they don't play those type of sets in college, man. Like they don't play the pass protection how they play in the NFL. They just don't do it. So it just takes time, man. That's why I didn't have a major reaction. I watched him and I saw where his issues was, and his issues didn't come off as like he can't do it. It was just like, man, this dude just needs work. Like he just needs time on task to understand all the little different nuances that come with a pass rush, that come on certain downs, whether it's 3-step or 5-step drops or, whether it's a run game or play action. He just needs to understand those little fine things that come with it. A lot of times he just kept getting beat on the inside because he would just kind of like, because he would just kind of start kicking out as soon as the ball was snapped without showing that he's ready for the inside pass rush. And the Texans, I can forget who he was facing, but they just ate that up. They're like, oh shit, you just gonna kick out? I'm just gonna come inside. You know what I'm saying?
Gonna go inside. Yeah. Like why would I try to go around you when I could get to the quarterback through like a straight line?
A straight line, exactly. So it just seems like one of those things that's just easy to clean up. But we'll see. We'll see if he's he has the mental capability of just being able to just attach that to his game and adapt and all that stuff. Because trust me, he's getting coached, bro. But Doug Marrone is gonna coach him up, man. So it's not like, and plus I never was tied to the thought that he needs to start week 1. Like
no,
it just
at all.
Never was in my head.
If you go back to our post game or post draft episode, we said that we literally said that we would not be surprised if Trevor Penning like had a red shirt season his rookie season and James Hurst started every game. Like that didn't surprise us back then, and so I just don't know. Like I get it, right? And that's kind of where fandom comes from. It's like, like we drafted this player, this player to be our left tackle, and he didn't have the best showing, so now he just like sucks, and now we should have drafted such. Like, god damn, it was one fucking game. Like, what did he have? Like, did he have some bad? Did he have some bad snaps? Like, yes, absolutely he did. But like in the run game, he was his nasty, like aggressive, dominant self.
Had some nice run snaps, bro.
Nice, bro. So it's like if you have that,
Cesar Ruiz. If Cesar Ruiz showed me what he showed in the run game, I'd have been ecstatic, bro. Ecstatic.
So if you already have that as your base, and all that needs to be fixed is the pass sets, and I'm not trying to make it seem like it's an easy like snap your finger and it's fixed.
Oh, no.
But that's all that needs to be. It's going to take time, but he's with the coaching staff that can get him to where he needs to be. And something that I don't think a lot of people realize is that the Saints don't need Trevor Penning to be the starting left tackle right off the bat. Like, most teams don't have that luxury.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. Like, it's like if you draft a left tackle, especially in the first round, you're usually drafting that left tackle. They got to play week 1 against the best pass rusher on the defense, bro. Like, you draft someone and like, oh, okay, my first game, you check the schedule, like, oh, I gotta go against, oh shit, Myles Garrett, week 1,
exactly.
Like, that's
like,
hard,
that's
bro.
That's what the Giants have been doing for years. It's like,
yes,
draft the left tackle and start him week 1 is like, man, and then he's just getting embarrassed. Now his confidence is ruined, and it's just.
Let's go back to Armstead's first start, bro, in Carolina.
Oh my God.
At the time, like, Greg Hardy, piece of shit, huge piece of shit, but was it like an elite pass rusher? And he gave him work.
Basically, ruined, I wouldn't say ruined our playoff chances, but, for seeding, like, just screwed our seeding and, home field advantage and all that shit, man. Like,
gone.
I mean, next to Ron Armstead, who became like a great left tackle eventually. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Penn is going to be that. I don't know. But that's the point. I don't know. Like I was arguing with Kevin, I forgot Kevin versus Sims, whatever his name is, on Twitter. He was like, no top 20 drafted left tackle, should be looking like this. I'm like, what data point are you working out? Like, what? I keep saying this, like, what data point are you using to say this? There's no data. Like, it's just nonsensical at that point, bro. It's like you're not making any sense.
Where is this coming from? Where is it coming from?
You watch one preseason game, bro, and I swear it's not me being a homer. It's like I'm really not a homer for. I would trash a Saints draft pick in a heartbeat. I ain't got no problems trash.
We rescinded our Pete Warner hate, but Pete Warner got to get on the field. Like,
Pete Warner groin. I remember the groin injuries used to haunt the Saints, man. It feel like they just making a little comeback.
Haunt them all season, Ryan.
Hernia and all that.
Every time it's like, oh, they about to go see the doctor in Philly.
Oh shit!
We already. We knew, bro. We knew. So if you're a Saint, obviously if you're listening to this, you're a Saints fan more than likely. But you should know that groin injuries are extremely nagging injuries, and I tweeted it, man. I said that injury's going to be with Pete Warner all season, and it's just going to be a thing where either he's going to be able to play with it and hopefully play well with it, or he may not be able to play with it. And that's why that backup linebacker spot, LB2 spot, is so important. I'm looking at the Jets like, y'all sure y'all want to keep Quan? Like, he gonna make 53?
I was cracking up, bro. I'm praying quiet, man. I'm just praying quiet players badly for them. Just
with the meme of like just praying for his downfall, bro. It's like, bro, praying for.
Man, come on, man. It's just defense. They don't know how to scout linebackers anyway, bro. They let Mario Davis out the door,
Twice, bro.
Twice.
They out here drafting Darren Lee. What they know? What they know about linebackers?
They don't know that.
Come on.
Come on home, man.
One other thing I did want to talk about the offense before we kind of wrap everything. Well, we'll hit on this point of the offense, and I just want to talk about some things we want to see in this upcoming preseason game against the Packers. Is, speaking of people, draft picks that we don't mind shitting on, Adam Trautman both gone on our bad list last year, bro. Like, he was just making plays that were just losing plays. Just plays that hurt the team. I've been reading reports all training camp. It really sounds like he's put together a damn good training camp.
Yeah, man.
So if he can just be a consistent weapon and reliable weapon, I think that's huge for him. I think that's huge for the offense.
Oh yeah.
With him and Taysom is and him and Taysom are kind of 1A, 1B, and however you want to see it. And obviously, a lot of it depends on Taysom's health, and that also sometimes is up and down as well. But he doesn't have to be just the guy, just TE1. Right. He doesn't have to be that. He can just be Adam Troutman, running a route, going up the seam. That's something else I've been seeing a lot of these observations, like going up the seam, tight ends going up the seams, and the quarterback finding them up the seams and what have you. He had another touchdown today in the joint practice against the Packers where it sounded like he came, like it was like a big time play in the red zone or in the end zone that led to him getting a touchdown in the end zone. I'm happy to see him rebound and have a good training camp after a bad last season. Now, hopefully we can see it in the preseason game, but even if we don't, like hopefully that continues over to the regular season. And then one of the fires that kind of got quelled really early in training camp was like the Lucas Kroll, my high for Lucas Kroll. It just vanished. He wasn't even suited out against the Texans, bro. Probably due to injury. Yeah. But it seems like yesterday he had a play, and today he came up with a touchdown in the red zone, and he had another good play in against the joint practices with the Packers, and it's like, oh, is Kroll coming back, bro? Like,
it seems like every time he's playing, like practicing, he's making plays, man.
I want to see, like, speaking of players we want to see upcoming or things we're looking for this upcoming preseason game against Packers. I want to see Lucas Kroll make some noise, bro. I want to see like a 10, 15-yard catch, contested. He gets a shot. He bounces off of a little bit. Like, I want to see something from because honestly, if you're asking me, and this is just me, I know if you're asking me, just based strictly on potential, I'd rather have Lucas Kroll on the team long term than say like a Nick Bennett.
Yeah,
you know what you're gonna get from Nick Bennett, but you kind of play the game where it's like, oh, let's cut Lucas Kroll, maybe try to sneak him onto our practice squad. Then you could have another Cameron Brate situation, bro, where another team picks him up and then off he goes and has a successful career in the NFL, just like Cameron Brate did with the Bucks. So, but I do think he needs to show something in the preseason game to potentially, because it's gonna be hard to make this roster, man. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's a hard roster to make.
Anything sticking out to you that you potentially want to see in preseason in the preseason game against the Packers on Friday?
Can we get a little Zach Bond action, bro? A little bonfire.
Yeah, nigga, gonna get it on special teams. He gonna be running down there, lighting people up, bro.
Boy, looking like he my age, man. Like,
bro, I remember when he got drafted and they showed like a picture with his hairline. I was like, "Oh, Zach, let it go, bro." And then he's now letting go. Man, I want Zach Bond to do so well, bro. I do. I really
do, man. It's because here's the thing. As much as I bash on Zach Bond, it's like PJ Williams. He has a certain set of skills that are useful. You know what I'm saying? Like, He does have some useful skills. I just wish they figure out those skills and implement that into the defense. I don't want to see Zach Bond on special teams. Like, I don't care that he's playing special teams. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know special teams are important. Yeah. But, find something a way for him to be an impact player on defense. Doesn't have to be a starter, but just be a Bobby McCain. Just Bobby McCray. I'm sorry, be a Bobby McCray or something. Something to just give us the defense some little action, man. I hate to see draft picks wasted, bro. Oh, I hate it, man. That annoys me. I know you can't hit them all. You just can't. But man, you can't. That 2020 draft. It's like, man, can we give me something out the draft? Oh, on that 2020 draft, while I was watching Penny, I kept a little eye, I was watching a little Reeves, bro, and I was like, Cesar Reeves was looking kind of average, which is good. Like, he was looking pretty like an average guard. Like,
he had two snaps where I was kind of like, Or it's kind of like, but like, you know, the rest of them were pretty decent, were pretty good snaps. Yes.
You would just look like an average guard, like an average. I'm not saying he's look good, but
that's all we need from him. Bro.
That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for. It's like, can you be average? Can you be the top 29th guard in the NFL? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fine. Like 29th. Well, you got two guards. You know what I'm saying? So like 29th guard. That's
okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just be like just okay, like an okay guard. Because what he was not good. Like he was like 60th guard in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So be 29th, and then you got Pete. Look, Pete gonna Pete, bro. You know,
he was not in. He missed like his first practice, like all training camp this today against the Packers. You know,
he
could just be
sure did.
Yeah, it may be
nothing. That's just Pete, bro.
That's just Pete. Could be Pete.
He said, "Man, ain't no Razor cans in here, Green Bay. Come out of here, man."
You're like cheese curds. Ugh.
Cheese curds, man.
And you know what's so going back to Zach Bond, you know what's so annoying is that someone actually asked DA a Zach Bond question yesterday, and like and that's what sometimes like annoys me. Like with like speaking of going back to the whole beginning of this podcast talking about like the media, it's just like, can we just ask better questions? Because like if that's me, I'm saying to DA. Zach Bond was drafted in the 3rd round. You guys have tried him at off-ball linebacker, which was the initial plan. You know, that maybe doesn't seem like to be his best position. What are things that the coaching staff is doing that could help Zach Bond succeed, be put in a position to succeed that can help the team?
Yeah.
Can I get an answer to that?
Right.
Like, can we expect Zach Bond to get more pass rushing snaps, which he did at Wisconsin?
Don't give me talk about Zach Bond or thoughts on Zach Bond. Like,
Stop.
He's just gonna give you a coach answer.
That's it. That's why you got to ask specific fucking questions. Something that I wanted to mention when we did the Texans post game show is, and I didn't mention it, is there was a lot of like, what Pete Carmichael are we gonna get?
Oh yeah.
What Pete Carmichael are we gonna get? And I watched that first drive, and it wasn't, he wasn't doing anything like exotic, but I think DA said it well when he was kind of reviewing the game, is that first drive just felt like New Orleans Saints football offense.
Exactly. I forgot Sean Payton wasn't there.
Isn't that wild? In and out the offense, tempo, and this could be just a Pete thing, and I don't know if there's anything to it, but like there was like two screen plays called on that drive. And I'm like, that led to the touchdown. And I was like, is the screen back, nigga? Is the screen back?
It felt like it just wasn't working. It's just like the screen just ain't been working for the longest. I don't know what it is. But
so it's a small sample size, and I'm trying to not take too much into it because I'm just trying to focus on just what we saw from the starters. But I was just like, it was just felt like a competent offense, just kind of hummed, just hummed, man. So I want to see if that continues over into against the Packers. Now, what I will think will be very interesting to see is, they've gotten two days of good work of joint practices. Can I also just say how much of a bitch Matt LaFleur is for not allowing one-on-ones? Can we talk about it, bro? Never heard no shit like that, bro.
That's some whole shit. I call it
whole shit, bro. When I heard that, I was like, what?
Because the Packers players wanted it. They wanted that smoke.
Of course.
So the Saints players wanted that smoke.
So now if you a Saints player and you heard they wasn't doing one-on-ones, you know what you're saying to the Packers players? You're like, damn, y'all coach think y'all pussy. Like you know how football talk is, bro. Like you know how it is. Like I've never heard no shit like that. Oh, we don't want tempers to flare and then to lead over to like a skirmish doing team. Now, like what are you worried for? Like one-on-ones is what. I mean, teams is important. Like teams obviously is the most important, but like the one-on-ones is the popcorn, bro. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. That was some whole shit. That was big fucking whole energy. It's just whatever. Anyway, so I want to see if the offense continues to be competent looking against the Packers. Oh, but my point I was making is that being that they do have had these two joint practices, Greg Rosenthal brought up a good point around the NFL pod, their last episode, is like some coaches may think like those joint practices is enough, where it's like, man, we got enough quality snaps against an opponent and then a game like situation, like we don't really got to put our stars out there in this preseason game. Like that was our preseason game. Like we can just play our backups.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how Da does it, and if he does play some of the starters, what have you. I am interested to see the offense, and I want to see this wide receiver battle. Like, is someone going to separate in that battle?
Yeah. No, you're right, because I don't expect to see Jarvis Landry. Won't see Mike Thomas. Chris Olave may get some snaps. But you know who else, man?
Man, Chris Olave had like he had some snaps in that first drive and maybe like a couple of other snaps in like the second drive. And after that, bro, he was out the game.
Right. I mean, I don't need to see much, but I think since he's a young player, they still might stick him in there, of course. But I don't care to see much from him. Like Traquan, like, man, I wouldn't look back and looked at that almost touchdown he had. Like, it was right there, bro.
In the bread basket. Was that
in the bread basket? That was a good throw.
That was his best throw. That was best throw of the game, bro.
That was his best throw of the game, bro. He put it right there.
Might be the best throw of his professional career.
Traquan probably, I think he messed up because he showed his hands real early, which gave the defender the time to just kind of smack it. You're supposed to kind of you got to time that right. Put late hands.
Yeah, have late hands. Yeah.
But, I mean, like, come on, man. Come on, Traquan, bro. Like, they pay you got, $2 million guaranteed or whatever. Like, bro, like, you the veteran. Like, you a veteran on this team, man, behind Mike Thomas and Jarvis Landry. Like, bro, show me something, man. And, I mean, look, Callaway, bro, like.
All I'm going to say about Callaway, and it made me nothing. But after that first drive, bro, we didn't see a lot of Marquez Callaway. I don't know what that means.
That's what I'm saying.
He wasn't out there.
I'm just saying. And I think Andy Dalton has a nice little thing with Callaway. Like, I just think, Callaway might be on his team, bro. But we'll see. I think, we got to see it. Like, Deontay Hardy, like, what's up with him?
I don't know how those vibes are right now with Deontay Hardy, man. It just feels weird, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. It just feels weird, and I'll leave it at that.
I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I ain't gonna say
nothing. So I do want to see more of Chase Hansen if he continues to make plays. I do want to see Eric Wilson. He had some good snaps, man. In that like it was kind of sneaky snaps, but like the Chase Hansen interception, like he deflected the ball, that led to the interception.
Justin Evans.
Yes,
I like that dude, man. He's just like I don't know. He's just like he's in the mix, bro. Like he's always in the mix as a safety. He's gonna make the squad, bro.
Yeah. Oh, man, I said that a couple of weeks ago. But if you go back to that interception, I know it probably should have been defensive pass interference on Fields, but the range that Evans had to make to get over to make that dive interception, it wasn't. I don't want to say it was Marcus Williams-esque, but it was impressive, bro. Like,
right.
That was a hell of a play. A hell of a play.
And then you just add that to the totality of the defense, with Honey Badger, with PJ Williams, with Marcus May. Like, that's just a nice group of safeties right there. Ain't no Roman Harpers in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to the guard, you know what I'm saying? Same legend.
Super Bowl winning champion Roman Harper.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, these are some nice moving athletes here.
They are, man. They are. Good shout out for bringing up Justin Evans. I do want to see what he can do. And we said it earlier, man. With this Packers offensive line, especially because it's in tatters. Like, we talk about how they're like both teams are kind of built very similar. The Packers and the Saints. That's one area that the Saints, even with Ruiz and what have you, like, have the advantage of the Packers is like. One thing that may keep the Packers from being absolutely great this season, and they won 13 games like the last 2 seasons, which is wild, is that offensive line is maybe shitty boo-boo. Yeah. And if you got a shitty boo-boo offensive line, I got to see who first go to work, bro. Like, I got to see it. I got to see some glimpses, some pressures. Can I see something? Something. Please. First, I don't care if it's first team offensive line or second team offensive line. I need to see something. Don't need to see AK. That kind of like I said about the wide receivers. Who's gonna be like the running back that's gonna step up?
Yeah.
In that
it was a clear miss.
Yes. It is, and we know the first 2 running back spots seems like obviously completely sorted out. So that running back 3, and does Dwayne Washington got the edge because he plays special teams? I don't know, man, because they probably will carry. I would guess they'll carry 4, if they keep Dwayne Washington for special teams. But Tony Jones Jr., your favorite, Zigbo, Auburn Smith. Man, Auburn Smith was looking nice, bro. And then that fumble, he was looking.
That's what I'm saying.
And then that fumble, and I'd be remiss. I feel like there's so much that's happened these last couple of days that seems like the word on the street is that AK's case, his criminal case in Las Vegas, may continue to get pushed back so far that he might not even get suspended this year, bro.
Please, Lord. And there's been no word on Marcus May, right?
None. I believe potentially he may have a court date later this month. But other than that, there's been none. There's been none. And like he sounds like he made like this great interception against Aaron Rodgers, who threw it deep. Like, the fact that he's back, and it's hard to replace what Marcus Williams could do, like what his skill set was. But it really feels like they have a lot of players that can do different things that can make up for it, which I think is huge.
Exactly.
And I also want to give a quick shout out as we're closing out. Good shout out to Maddie. Her articles that dive into the secondary and like the type of coverages and how often like certain coverages have been ran in training camp as opposed to that's a great football read. If you are a football nerd, please read that article, read her work. She's fantastic. She's amazing. She really is. So shout out to her. Absolutely. We will be back when
at some point.
Got to ask this bearded Negro because I don't know when. we'll be back. I don't know, but no, he's taking Ryan and Bree taking a little vacation, a little family time. Gonna be in the H-Town enjoying. So just like it was when I was in Hawaii, man. When you're on vacation, you enjoying your family, like you do that. So I'll be holding it down So on Friday, I will be in the Zoom live stream. I do expect our usuals to be in. It kind of feels like Cheers, bro. Like Norm, you got Cliff, you got the whole crew. So if you want to be a part of that, if you're not a Patreon, please become a Patreon. We are 70 Patreons away from the goal of getting 200 Patreons before the regular season. Seems a little glim, but I'm not giving it up because we get about 2,500, 2,700 listens depending on the episode. If one person just becomes a Patreon at just $1 level, or 30 people do, because we're just trying to, or sorry, 70 people do, we're just trying to get to 200. So if 70 people give $1, we will hit that goal. So if you're listening to this, if you listen this long, please consider becoming a Patreon. We really appreciate it. Join our little community family that we're building for the hashtag Saints Twitter podcast. So
can't even get a McDouble for $1 no more, man.
Nothing. If you keep in mind, just by being a Patreon, you get access to the Discord. You can participate in all the live streams, and then it also gets you enabled to be entered into the raffles. We still have the raffle we got to do for the Seahawks tickets when the Saints take on the Seahawks in New Orleans. That we're raffling away 2 tickets. We're going to be raffling away a ticket for the Raiders game, where you will be sitting with me, me, Ryan, Joey, his wife, and whoever wins the raffle. Like, you'll just get to be with us, hang out with us. The big Raiders meetup we're doing in October, that's only for Patreons. I'm sorry, if you're not Patreon, I don't want you there. Like, I'll make people show up with their fucking on a name tag, bro. And if I don't know that if I check the Patreon list, you ain't on it. Kick your ass out.
Food, we gonna be drinking. It's gonna be
food, drink. Like, we got barbecue coming from Blue Oak. We gonna be drinking. We gotta do shots with Michael because he helped us out to improve our audio. So we gotta do shots with him. Sounds like it's tequila. Thank God. Whew. I can do shots of tequila all day long. But you talking about vodka, and then that's a different story. But all that said, we're set to have an amazing upcoming football season. Not just in the sense of, the Saints are back and the Saints are playing, blah, blah, but just in the sense of just this camaraderie, this community that we're building. It's something that is really special, and that Ryan and myself are really proud of. There'll be times where if I'm working super hard in my job and Ryan's busy, maybe we can't get in the Discord. But when we catch up on it, people have been talking all day, interacting. Just
that's what I love. I love that.
It's beautiful, man. It really is. So that's my spiel. If you love the show, you want to support us, please potentially think about becoming a patron. And also, something that we are planning to do in the future is that for all our Patreons, we'll start releasing like no ads, no type of reads. That strictly will be available to our Patreon users. Everyone else, either you got to fast forward or just listen through the ads, because got to get that money. That said, got to play the bills. I did want to give people a little upcoming preview of our next week's schedule. So next Tuesday, our goal is to do a podcast with a guest. Guest is not figured out yet. We do have a guest in mind that we want to get on next Tuesday's episode. We don't know if we'll be able to get him on, but if not, we do have some other people that we would want to get on and talk about the Saints with. And then on Thursday, we are doing a Chargers game preview, as well as updating our 53-man roster prediction now that 2 preseason games have passed. It'll kind of be like our final 53 game prediction of who's going to make the team before the final preseason game for the Chargers. And then after that, fucking football's back next month, man.
Football back, boy.
We're in the end game now. So that said, we really appreciate everyone for being with us, for supporting us. we do have an announcement that should be finalized by the end of next week that we are going to be really excited and happy to share with the entire community and all our listeners. So be on the lookout for that. Thank y'all. We'll be back soon-ish to recap the Packers preseason game. We'll be back soon to record it sometime, hopefully this weekend. But with that, we're out.
Peace.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.